week is an exciting week, David. By golly, this week is a particularly exciting one. After last week, I don't know, we had that big brawl all over the studio, one of the bloodiest battles I've ever seen. But this week, what a sensational card.
You're right. Well, to begin with this week, we have a handicap tag team match. I'm not sure I've ever seen one of these on television before, but we're going to have it today. Big Bubba and Goliath will be on one side, going against 4 guys on the other side, and those guys can have any 2 in there.
At
one time. In addition to that, we've got an expiration of time match that will not quit today. Dennis Hall and Dolly Parker will be teaming up with Boy Tony to go against, listen to this, the King and Hillbilly Elmer. That should be an entertaining match, to say the least, coming up for the expiration of time. But the big one of the day, international tag titles will be on the line, so technically all the others are going to be standby matches. There will be a special 30-minute time limit for this championship match coming up.
Yes, sir. You'll be seeing an excellent team of Jeff Jarrett and Paul Diamond defending their titles against the former champions Sato and Goto. Hey, I'll tell you something else we've got unique, and I'm looking forward to that, too. Kenny D and the Killer will be back, and today the Killer will unmask right here on Championship Wrestling. We'll be seeing it. With all of that lined up, we better get on with it. We'll take time out and be back in just a moment. Bring out right now 3 gentlemen that have really been making some noise in all sorts of fashions. 2 of them are holders of the international tag titles, and the other 2 have been hot and heavy after the Southern tag belts. I'm talking about Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis, and Paul Diamond. Last week we had, and Dave and I were talking about on the opening, one of the bloodiest battles I've ever seen that you and Billy are involved in with the Sheepherders. Then all of a sudden in the Southern Tag Tournament, you guys come up against them again, and I got to tell you, I think there are a lot of people who agree with me. I think you should have won the titles, but that isn't the way it came out.
That's right, Lance. I agree with you. I'm not out here to brag. Me and Billy aren't out here to brag, but I believe me and Billy should have the belts out here today, but we don't. And that's how things happened, but it was a tough tournament. But we were out there to win the belts in that tournament, but there's also something out there we were after, and I think we gained it, and that's respect. Me and Billy gained respect from the Sheepherders. Last week, they didn't think we'd make it out of that bloody mess, but we did, and we met them in the tournament, and we're here today.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Billy. Jonathan Boyd's always talking about the pretty wrestlers and all that, and look at my face and how bad. I know it's not a happy one, but I got to tell you, boy, you've got your battle scars today.
You know, Lance, Jonathan Boyd, everybody knows Jonathan Boyd's reputation. You know, he's been all over the country, and he hurts a lot of young guys. Well, let me tell you something, Boyd. We are here, Jeff and I and Paul's here, and we're here to fight you. We want respect, and we want it from the fans, and we want it from you.
I know you have the sympathy about the Sheepherders, but really, Paul, your eyes are kind of directed on the guys that put you out of action with that broken leg, and I'm talking about Sato, Goto, and Tojo.
That's true, Lance. You know, the reason for this match today is just, in my mind, I mean, I'm happy that we won these belts, and I'm proud to be the International Tag Team Champion, or one half of it anyway. But in my mind, I just can't justify trading a championship belt for my health and for my leg. I still want them in there, and I want to cripple them and send them back to Japan.
Well, you and Jeff have got a title match on television. We appreciate you defending it here on TV, and we're looking forward to it. Good luck to you in all the endeavors out there, guys. You're going to see them in action right in the ring as we've got the international tag titles on the line today.
Lies. We went out there and we beat 50 American teams. 50 of them. You understand that? In that tournament, we beat 50 American teams and we beat you, just like we beat you on TV last week. You were laying in a pool of Yankee blood. We're the champion and you're the bloody criers. That's all you Yanks do. All you do is just cry and cry and cry every time you play. I was watching the monitor. They're out here telling everybody that they won these. We won these. We're the bloody champions, and you're not. If you ever want another match, just say so, because we'll give you a match. Win.
Now, anytime, right now.
I'm not going to give you a match right now. You know why? Because last week we had to pay this TV station $1,400 for wrecking it with your buddies, and we're not going to pay any money today. Your grandmother has already taken. Look at your heel, Bob. Don't worry about my head. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're not worried about it. Please don't tear the microphone.
You, Paul, you say you the champion. You just the imitation champion. You never win the belt. You had the help of the big fat Eddie Money promoter. He cheated out. There's conspiracy.
Hey, they're giving you...
We are the champion. We are the champion. I tell you what. We're going to show you that we're gonna be the champion. You're not going to be the champion long time. You understand? You come on, show. One guy.
Yeah, okay, you guys, hey, let's break it up here. We got a match. Yamamoto starts out swinging that kendo stick. Hits Jeff. What is Jeff doing? He has left the ring and left Paul Diamond here. That is unlike him, to say the very least. Here he's back. Oh, I see.
Oh, he's going to Travis in their corner, huh?
That's the way Yamamoto's going to start it. Let's go get Billy Travis. Have him in the corner. There's Tojo complaining now that they've got somebody in the corner. He opened right up with Jeff over there and slammed Jeff in the back with that kendo stick. We may have another battle on the floor here between Billy Travis and Tojo Yamamoto. The clock is running, and right away they're into action. Sato over the top. Look at that backdrop. A beauty.
Jeff Jarrett wasted no time taking charge. Here comes Paul Diamond after the tag.
Boy, and I could tell from the conversation with Paul just a moment ago, he's more interested in busting some heads than he is the belts in there. They want the belts, but Diamond has got a lot of settling up to do. Uh-oh, Goto raked him across the eyes. Diamond slamming back. Man, oh man, the belts, remember, are at stake. Special one-fall, 30-minute time limit, as Dave said, for television. Double elbow after the tag, and Jeff Jarrett gets a count of one, and that's all.
Hard one to hold down for the count of three. Tarzan Goto using the head. Now backing Jerry into the turnbuckles. Look at the reversal by Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, boy, I tell you what. He and Diamond look good together as a tag team. He and Billy Travis look good together as a tag team, too. Look at that knee lift. Powerful one by Diamond. The 2 count was just falling. Goto able to kick out of it at that point. Boy.
Jarrett doubled him over with that shot to the midsection, and Diamond lifted him up with that knee. What nice teamwork.
Referee Jerry Calhoun that time got the count to 2, but that was it.
They trading some licks in there. Goto with Diamond's head slammed into the foot of Akio Sato. But Paul Diamond, who is quite a physical specimen, he really got up high with a drop kick. Sato, though, kicks his way out.
Sato back in the corner of Jeff Jarrett and Paul Diamond. How about that from Jeff Jarrett? There's a cover, but Tarzan Goto in from outside to break it up. Now Sato really working on Jeff. Are he poking in the eye, I think, maybe?
Yeah. Ripped him with a right. Tags Goto.
Oh, slammed him into the head of Goto. Incredible.
Using that head.
Goto with a headbutt again. Jeff Jarrett down on the mat. But not out of it. We're coming up on the 4-minute mark in this match. Remember, the special time limit is 30 minutes for this championship match. Jeff Jarrett moved out of the way, gets the tag on Paul Diamond, who comes in after Akio Sato.
All 4 of them in there now, Dave. Backdrop on Sato. Jeff is in with Goto, whips him in. Another backdrop on Goto. Diamond, likewise. This time it's a clothesline. We've got all 4 wrestlers in there.
Jeff Jarrett working on Tarzan Goto. The 2 legal ones in the ring. Paul Diamond and Akio Sato. Jarrett and Diamond running together in the middle of the ring. Diamond back to work on Akio Sato. Jeff Jarrett slams Tarzan Goto into the turnbuckle. There's a cover by Paul Diamond. Tojo's starting to go in there. Look out. Billy Travis grabs him. The Sheepherders in to grab Billy Travis. And Tojo Yamamoto in the ring throws salt or some kind of powder in Paul Diamond's eyes. There's a cover. 2, 3, and Akio Sato gets the 3 count. Referee did not see all that stuff going on with Tojo over here at Billy Travis and the Sheepherders. The Japanese team awarded the belt. They've regained the titles here from Jeff Jarrett and Paul Diamond. You saw exactly how they did it. The time, 5:09.
Yamamoto was about to get him disqualified by jumping up in the ring, and Travis got him, but the Sheepherders got him from behind, and...
Tojo! This is the last straw! The one that broke the camel's back! First the leg, then the candlestick, and now this! Why I got my hands on you? You're history, brother!
Paul Diamond again. Paul is suffered from, again, the Japanese treachery that caught him.
I know, it's incredible.
And
anyway.
after all of the battle that they had to get the belts and then have to lose them in a fashion like that. So we're going to take time out. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, back to the wrestling action here in just one moment in the ring. By golly, I'll tell you, looking over the Wednesday card, 6 outstanding matches coming up in Evansville's Coliseum. We'll tell you the entire card a little bit later on. I do want to tell you, though, there is going to be a tar and feather match. Yeah, Tojo Yamamoto is going to be involved with Paul Diamond. Of course, Sato and Goto will be defending their titles. And the Great Kabuki will be in here to go against Pat Tanaka. Tojo, it's going to be a busy night in Evansville.
You think Paul Diamond can beat me and town feather me? He's stupid, the son of a gun. What I forgot, Paul Diamond is just picking up now. I'm going to beat Paul Diamond. I'm going to town feather him, and he's going to be looking like about 6 weeks of this small little chick with on no feather. You understand?
You know,
and also I'm bringing in Mr. Kabuki for destroy that Pat Tanaka, so-called how he's a Hawaiian boy. He's a colored people.
Tojo Yamamoto talking about the bout between the Great Kabuki. There's no question about it. World-class wrestler, and he will be in there. Pat Tanaka is going to give him quite a surprise. Now, in addition to that, there's going to be some other matches. One will be a super heavyweight championship match. That's for wrestlers over 300 pounds, and it will feature Goliath going against Hillbilly Elmer. And, of course, Goliath will have downtown Bruno. Then Jerry the King Lawler will be going against Big Bubba.
Well, I'll tell you something. All my life on the streets of downtown Pittsburgh, brother, I grew up with absolutely nothing. Now I got a champion here, and there ain't no way that big, fat, slob pig farmer's going to take that belt. Now we got this man here. This is the baddest dude in professional wrestling, baby. We're talking about honorary citizen of downtown Pittsburgh. And there is no way that Jerry Lawler's going to defeat this man. No way Jerry Lawler's going to get me in the ring. And no way Jerry Lawler's going to leave that building with the title.
If he wins, he gets 5 minutes with you alone with Jerry Lawler.
Wait a minute, Lance. Let me tell you something downtown, Bruno. You're going to be just as safe as in your mother's arms because I'm going to beat Jerry Lawler right there.
Wednesday night in Evansville. Our first look at them in action here. We've heard a lot about them.
Yeah, we have. One fall, 10-minute time limit match coming up. Keith Eric out of Memphis, Tennessee. David Razor out of Phoenix, Arizona going against him here today. And as soon as we get a referee in there between them, I don't think we want to turn them loose without a referee here. We are going to be ready to go.
I'll hold down the desk. You take over the refereeing up there,
All
Dave.
right, I think I'll just wait.
Eddie, can we get a referee out here for this match? There we go.
There we
I
go.
think we're ready.
Rock and roll RPM waiting right there. Referee will get them sorted out here and signals for the bell to be sounded.
Jerry Vickers, the referee, and starting out as Tommy Lane. He is the shorter, but the stockier of the two, and he's going against Keith Eric. Keith Eric and David Razor. We have never seen Razor here before. Eric taking a shot or two from Tommy Lane. There's a tag on Mike Davis. Mike and Tommy, the rock and roll RPM. Nice standing drop kick. Beauty. Wrestle out of Atlanta, Georgia. They have been around a lot of places. And we have heard a lot about this team. They're a rough team also.
Well, they are. Yeah, they're not, they don't use a lot of finesse, but they have got some power. That drop kick, they just powered him down to the mat. They didn't care if it looked pretty or not. They just nailed him. Same thing there with the upper arm.
Mike Davis drops again. Count of one. He didn't get it. Eric kicked his way out of it. Keith Eric needs to get over there and tag David Razor and give him his first shot of action here on Championship Wrestling. Tommy Lane takes over. And the rock and roll RPMs have controlled it since the opening go. That was not long ago, but they have certainly been in control. Keith Eric kicks out again.
At the 2 count.
Yes, sir. Tag right back to Mike Davis. Double elbow. There's a tag on David Razor. Razor comes through. Boy, and he is met with a big elbow by Mike Davis. Tag on Tommy Lane. Off the ropes, in the air, backdrop. They just kind of overwhelmed him with a little 2-on-1 move, and Tommy Lane, 1, 2, 3. Rock and roll RPMs, David.
Minute 58 seconds was the time on it. Quite frankly, it was all rock and roll RPMs, Mike Davis and Tommy Lane during the match. And they wrap it up in a little under 2 minutes.
Yes, sir, they did in their first appearance. Mike, congratulations. Tommy, you didn't take long to make your first win here on Championship Wrestling. You guys wrestle out of Atlanta, and we've heard about you from a lot of places around the country.
You know, Lance, we've been all over the country. We've been all over the world. But where it's happening is right here. And rock and roll is here to stay. The RPMs are coming in here, and we're going to do some damage, Daddy, I guarantee you.
Well, I have heard, Tommy, that you guys, while you're both fine, outstanding wrestlers, you can get down and get rough and tough with any of them if they want to get that way.
That's it. You know, if you have to do it, you have to do it. And rock and roll ain't scared to. There's a lot of good tag teams around here. Listen, hey, rock and roll! Yes, you hear them, baby. This is what it's all about.
You saw that we had right here today an example of how rough it can get. Sato and Goto regain. They're the Japanese team that regained the international titles right here on television.
You know, Sato and Goto are no strangers to us in Tokyo, Japan. Sato and Goto, right there in a tag team tournament. For $50,000, you pulled the same thing on the rock and roll. And we vowed then and there, no matter where we went, if we ever saw you again, we're going to get that $50,000 back if we have to take it out of your hides.
Well, of course, they use the salt and everything else, and they're not above it, but they've got the titles, and they are now the champ. Hey.
You don't know nothing about Tojo.
Hey, come on.
Over there.
Hey, will you guys knock it off now? Nobody else going to come out. Uh-oh. Boy, at least I'm glad they headed to the ring. Sato Goto in there with Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, the rock and roll RPM. And I think we're seeing a little of that rough and tumble tactics that they're capable of, Dave, because they are giving Sato and Goto everything they want and a little bit more.
Sato and Goto, maybe, should have thought twice before they came in here against this team. Boy, they are really, there goes Sato out of the ring. Goto. He's out of the ring. Tommy Lean got him out of there. And standing in the ring, it's Rock and Roll RPMs with the Japanese team outside. Now Goto back up on the apron.
Tojo Yamamoto's thinking maybe this is not the time to have this kind of confrontation. So Sato and Goto are being very careful about climbing back in that ring with a Rock and Roll RPM. Yamamoto and his Japanese champions don't look so high and mighty today.
Boy, they were run out of the ring, no doubt about it.
Yep, there's no question about that. I will say that.
That's it right there. If it's $50,000 on their hide, every time we see them, Sato and Goto, you will be RPM.
Okay, there's the Rock and Roll RPMs, and I think we're going to enjoy seeing them around as they look like they can provide lots of action in the counter fighting the same style as some of these teams around here, David.
Just what we need, maybe.
We got plenty of action yet to go. Hey, we got that we got that handicap tag match. I'll get it right here in just a minute. It's coming up a little bit later. We'll take time out now and be back to it. To tell you about some of the action coming around the territory. Thursday, December the 11th in Fern Creek, Kentucky at the high school. The sponsors is the Fern Creek Marching Tiger Pride. Advance tickets on sale at the high school office. That's December the 11th, a Thursday in Fern Creek. Thursday, December the 18th, Cloverport. Make your plans right now because Championship Wrestling is coming to the Sports Center, sponsored by the Junior Class and Athletic Department. All that action coming up. You get out and see it when it gets there. Wednesday, Evansville Coliseum, 6 matches. Listen to every one of these bouts. Tar and Feather match with Tojo Yamamoto against Paul Diamond. Sato and Goto defend against the Rock and Roll RPMs. The international tag titles, the Great Kabuki and Pat Tanaka. Super World Heavyweight Championship, Goliath and Hillbilly Elmer will tangle. Southern Tag Team with the Sheepherders against Billy Travis and Jeff Jarrett. Southern title, Jerry Lawler and Big Bubba. And if the King wins, he gets 5 minutes with Downtown Bruno. Okay, we're going to be back in the ring with action coming up here in just a moment. But coming out now, without a question of a doubt, 2 of the biggest wrestlers we have ever seen with one of the littlest managers that we've ever seen, Big Bubba, the international heavyweight champion, to say the least. And he's got a bout coming up with the Southern heavyweight title. It's going to be on the line.
I got another belt to add to my trophy collection. Can you believe that? Hey, but can you believe the audacity of this Jerry Lawler, okay? Can you believe how cocky he is to make a stipulation in the Southern heavyweight belt match? Can you believe that?
Well, it's just simply the fact that he's got a, in the short acquaintance they've had, it's not been pleasant. He's got a little score to settle, and he's figuring on getting through you. Then he gets 5 minutes with Bruno.
Well, let me take and make things straight. Bruno, you got nothing to worry about, buddy, because I can beat Jerry Lawler 7 days a week, twice on Sunday, anytime, any place. Okay? First of all, I'm going to take Jerry Lawler, take him to the ring, and pin his shoulders 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring in front of all of his collared-eating, neck-bone-sucking hillbilly friends. Can you believe that? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to embarrass him and show him that the king is actually a queen, because this is where it's at, brother. I'm going to be walking away with the belt. And before you can say anything, we know about the stipulation in the rule book up here that says that you can only have 1 belt.
That's right.
But let me tell you something. Me and Big Downtown Bruno, we've been talking. First of all, Jerry Lawler probably paid somebody to put that rule in the book because he's afraid to lose his belt. But me and Big Downtown Bruno, we talked to the best lawyer in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're going to take care of it and remedy that matter.
I'll tell you something, brother. First of all, let me make one point clear, baby. It doesn't really matter if there's stipulations, contracts, whatever. You know, because there's no way that the Queen's going to beat this man. You know what I'm saying? This man is, 400 and some pounds of walking, talking, roping, stomping downtown destruction. I want to make one point clear. I made my friend here an honorary citizen of downtown Pittsburgh. Let's make that clear, okay? There's no way at all that Lawler's going to take this man. It's impossible. Lawler's just an alley cat, coat wearing, crown wearing, strap pulling, undercover hillbilly. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Let me say this. Let me say this. I am not the least bit afraid to get in the ring with Jerry Lawler anyhow. Wait. Not the least bit afraid. I'm the freak of nature or whatever. This man should lose, which absolutely he will not. And I do have to get in the ring with Jerry Lawler, which I won't, as I said. I tell you something. I got a letter the other day from one of the women I used to represent downtown Pittsburgh, you understand? See, and since I quit representing her as her agent, let's say, she said she went with a guy named Velvet, see? And she wrote me a letter that this guy named Velvet would beat her. So she went, and her new agent was a guy named Leroy Jones, see? But she was upset because Leroy Jones would beat her. I said, well, what do you want me to do? I'm not coming back downtown. I'm having a good time here in the South, see? She says, well, she wants Jerry Lawler to be her new agent because he don't beat anybody, okay? Now that we made that point clear.
Very funny.
Now that, wait. Now we got a big fat guy named Hillbilly Elmer. Hillbilly, you know, he got a belly like Cocoa Head Mountain. Yes, I was in Honolulu, baby. This man here, the mighty 414-pound Goliath, baby, from downtown Pittsburgh, Fort Duquesne Boulevard, not 42 like the rednecks say, Fort Duquesne Boulevard. This man here is going to get in the ring with that hillbilly Elmer, and he's going to show him some whooping, man. Sure, this man is 460 pounds, but he's 460 pounds of fat. I'd like to know what we're going to name it. You know what I'm saying? I would really like to know what we're going to name it. That's my point, and that's pretty much all I have to say because, hey, these men speak for themselves. My Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal speaks for itself, and this man's going to be the new Southern Heavyweight Champion, baby. Oh, yeah.
One thing you failed to mention is this will be the first time Goliath has ever faced anybody who is bigger than he is.
Fatter than he is. What does bigger mean? This man has the belt. This hillbilly Elmer don't have the belt. And, hey, wait a minute, wait. They could use guys like this in South Africa, brother. We're going to go in there and turn them inside out and make a white man out of him.
It's time for the tag handicap match. Big Bubba and Goliath going against four guys right here. Let's go to the ring and the action, David.
All right, it is going to be 4 against 2, a handicap tag team match. Referee Jerry Vickers in the ring right now. And the way it is, the team of Jerry Garmon, Benny Traylor, Jim Jamison, and David Johnson, they can have any 2 men in the ring at one time. Any 2 of the 4 can be in there at one time. Across the way, downtown Bruno from Fort Duquesne Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh has from downtown Pittsburgh, Goliath. And out of Miami, Florida, Big Bubba. Any one of them can be in there at any one time. Boy, he's got about 400 pounds of championship belts he's having to cart out of the ring right now. Super heavyweight title held by Goliath, and a couple of them by Bruno.
Heavy metal.
I know it's heavy. A couple of them held by Big Bubba.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Bell time, and here we go. Jerry Vickers center signals for it. And Garmon and Traylor starting in against Bubba. Good night. That's unbelievable, huh?
I am amazed every time I see this man in the ring. He is so huge, so powerful. Just easily picking up both Garmon and Traylor and just slamming them right square in the middle of the ring.
Boy, it's just hard to believe. Now, let me tell you, these guys are no peanuts. They are compared to him, but, man, he whips in their crotches them, flips them up in the air just like they were nothing. Look at that. This is Big Bubba. Into the ropes. Benny from behind. Jerry caught over there in the turnbuckles. Bubba just flips him off. Downtown doesn't seem to be too worried about the action that's taking place in there, and with good reason up to this point. Coming off the turnbuckles.
Boy, that
Bubba just
work,
catching now.
Jerry
he was going to try to press him.
Yeah, did not work at all. Didn't get anywhere with that.
Crashes those heads together, and they need a tag over there. Both of them need to get out and let David Johnson and Jim Jamison make it through.
Wow.
Can you believe a guy at 407 pounds can get up in the air and drop kick 2 men like that? Well, here comes David. Here comes Jim Jamison in. And their task is no easier because they have a jowl-slapping big guy themselves in Goliath. Jamison almost driven through that mat. Good night. Look at this. Up in the air with a chokehold. Jamison swings the right, and it has no effect whatsoever. Jim hits the floor. And Bruno down here. All right, you better get back away, buddy, because you're not that big. You may have a couple of big friends. Somebody can get up, slap you sidewind. And Goliath down on top. 1, 2.
Picked him up at the 2 count.
Yeah.
Here's Big Bubba coming back. Goliath tagged him while he was over near the corner. Ooh, he dropped David on his head.
Boy, he almost punched his head right through the bottom of that ring. Count of 2, 3. Thank goodness he took the count right there. He didn't try to pick him up. Over the top rope comes athletic downtown Bruno. Well, I guess if you're that little, you got to have a couple of friends that big. As irritating as Bruno is, he hops out of the ring and heads back with these 2 huge bookends. Garmon, Trailer, Jamison, and Johnson checking to see if they've got all limbs together here. Man, oh man. What was the time on that?
Time on it was 2:34. Big Bubba and Goliath. Another awesome display from those 2.
Yeah, to say the very least. Timeout, and we're going to... No, we're not going to take timeout right now, are we? No. Okay. Let me get up and make a move here, if I may. Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, now we got them.
Chance, we got cameras running everywhere here, man.
Everywhere.
Shouldn't have been the camera in my life.
Boy, I got to tell you, we've got ourselves some trouble with a couple of guys as big as Bubba and Goliath are, and then have a little manager who just
go ahead and call him exactly what he is, Lance.
No, I can't.
He is a little slimy worm. That's exactly what this little wimp is. He's worming his way around here, and he thinks he's going to worm his way into the middle of all the things that's going on down here in the South, brother. But let me tell you something. If you got any brains in that head of yours, you better get your scrawny little butt back up to Pittsburgh just as quick as you can get there, boy, because you're going to get hurt down here. I can guarantee you that. Now, you can talk about the South, you can talk about the rednecks, you can talk about anything you want to. But after I get my hands on you, 5 minutes with me, brother, and you won't be doing any talking at all. Because I'll put this fist so far down your stinking little throat, brother, that you won't be able to talk for a long, long time. Now, it's true, Lance, that this Big Bubba, a big blubber as I call him, is big. He's big, and he thinks he's bad, and he can be had, I can tell you that, because if you saw that piece of film a little earlier, I knocked him right down on his fat back, and I'll do it again. And if you think for 1 minute that you're going to get that Southern heavyweight title around your waist, you got another thing coming. I know that's what you're thinking. I know that's what you came here for. You want the Southern strap, but you're not going to get it. And as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I don't care what I have to do to hang on to that belt, Big Bubba. I don't care if I have to reach way down in the bottom of that big bag of tricks that I got, brother, and come out with something pretty mean and something pretty nasty and something pretty hot and something pretty heavy. I'm going to do whatever it takes to hang on to that Southern title. And as for you, you little worm, Bruno, after I beat Big Blubber, I'm going to have you in that ring, and in 5 minutes, I'm going to show you just how much damage I can do to a little worm like you.
Like to see that one. Hey, you've got one going for the super heavyweight title bout, Hillbilly Elmer. And this is going against this Goliath. You're the first guy that's bigger than he is that he's ever
I'll tell
faced.
you what, I've heard them out here running their mouths and doing everything. But I'll tell you what, Lance, I'm not worried about it a bit in the world. That belt is mine, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to keep it. Hey, big, what's his name?
Goliath.
Goliath failed, you know. You heard that in the Bible? Well, he failed. He gonna fall again.
Okay, we're going to look forward to it and seeing all that action when it comes up. Time out. We'll be back in a moment.
In the ring right now, Tony Parks and David Haskins, and coming this way.
Before I get in the ring with my bloody cousin and beat their Yankee brains in, I'd like to congratulate the Jets on winning their titles today. When we beat those 50 teams in the tournaments for these belts,
They took us out and partied us. And as soon as we beat their brains in, we're going to take the Jeffs out and party them. Now, Jeff Jarrett, the brat, right? Jeff Jarrett, the brat, and Billy Travis, they say that we cheated when we won these. Well, let me tell you something. You know what happened here last week? We put the Yankee blood all over this bloody studio. Cost us $1,400, but that's all right, because we're going to get it back. Now I'm going to show you what they're going to look like when we get you in the ring. Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis, this is what you're going to look like when we get you in the ring. I'm going to take these belts that you love so much, and I'm going to go bang, 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 and I'm going to bust your bloody heads in with them. You understand that? I'm going to bust your heads in so the Yankee blood is going to be all over the place. And you know what they're going to look like then? They're going to look like this.
All right, Jonathan.
Like that, just like they're going to look.
Boy, I tell you, I think the guy is worse now than the last time that he was here. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
Jonathan Boyd and Bigfoot, the Sheepherders, stepping in there against Tony Parks and David Haskins. That's Tony Parks against Jonathan Boyd. Boyd, well, you heard him and saw him out here. I don't know. Boyd, the Sheepherder.
Boyd slamming Tony Parks with that head of his, catches him with a big elbow. Referee Jerry Vickers, tag on Bigfoot. Bigfoot. He got some marvelous cousins, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
You look back at some of his cousins. Crazy Luke Williams.
Yeah. And Grip Morgan, even worse, perhaps.
Morgan. Bigfoot with a big elbow puts Parks down on the deck hard in the air. There's a big power slam from Bigfoot. Drops down with a heavy leg right across the chest. Jonathan, hand out, takes the tag. Boy, oh boy, this Parks has not had a prayer.
No, it has not been his day as Jonathan Boyd stepped in there with blood in his eye, literally, and went after him. David Haskins in there battling him. Haskins outweighs Tony Parks by a few pounds, and he is really going after Jonathan Boyd here.
Not having a lot of success at getting him off his feet.
No, he isn't. He really gave it his best shot, and he did not get him off his feet. Now look out. Boyd whips him into the ropes.
Head to the midsection, tag on Bigfoot. Whoa, David takes a drop kick right smack in the face and in the body as Bigfoot got one of them right up there and kicked his head loose. There's the battering ram, the Boyd battering ram. 1, 2, 3.
That's 2:03 the time on it. And there's a celebration by the Sheepherders.
Well, Jonathan said after they beat them up, they were going to take the Japs out.
That's what champions look like. The Sheepherders.
I hope not. We'll take time out, and we're going to be back with more action in just a moment. Some more action, brother, and it's going to be Wednesday night. 6 matches, yeah, and I'm telling you what, it is going to be something else. I mean, every one of them are dynamite matches, starting from the very first. I'm loving this. Tar and Feather match, Paul Diamond and Tojo Yamamoto. I know you're going to do the number on him.
I'll tell you what, I feel like a lottery winner, like I won $1 million. Tojo, you got to get in that ring and face me one-on-one. You know, he's had something to do with breaking my leg. He beat the tar out of me with that stick. Finally cost me the international tag team belts. Well, I've had enough. The anger that's built up inside me, I feel like Mount St. Helens, ready to erupt. Well, I'm going to erupt all over you, Tojo. And then when it's all over, brother, further humiliation. Tar and feathers all over your body right there in Evansville.
Yeah, I mean, Wednesday night it's going to happen. Southern Tag Team's going to be on the line. Sheepherders, Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis. Tough match.
That's
Jeff.
right, Lance. You've seen our matches with the Sheepherders, and there's not much wrestling in it. That's right, it's a fight. You people in Evansville are going to see a fight, but there's nothing me and Billy like better than to walk out with them belts, Lance, and I think we can do it in Evansville.
Good luck to you in there. I think you can, too, as a matter of fact. 5 5 minutes with Downtown Bruno. Big card that they sent to the king if you beat Big Bubba.
Lance, you're right. It's sort of like a Christmas card is what I thought it was, because that will be just like a Christmas present to get my hands on that stinking, sniveling little worm, Downtown Bruno. You're right. You got the right nickname, because if I get 5 minutes with you, brother, they'll catch you downtown Evansville, because they'll catch you speeding. I'll hit you so hard. And let me tell you something, Big Blubber. You bring that little worm down to the ring and you let him do everything he can, everything within his power to try to help you win that Southern title, because it ain't going to happen. You see, Lance, I said, it's like Christmas to me already. It's almost Thanksgiving, but we're going to confuse everybody. It's going to be like the 4th of July Wednesday night in Evansville, Indiana, because Big Blubber, I'm going to light you up like a Roman candle, Lance. I guarantee you that's the truth.
That's Wednesday night. You got to be there start to finish.
Stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life.
What a trio that is, David.
Shower and the blood starts pumping.
Boy Tony,
Starts jumping with folks
Dennis
on the job.
Hall with Miss Dolly Parker in our main event expiration of time match. Hey, I want to say right here and now that we just received word that Kenny D and the Killer are not here. We've been talking about them, the Killer being unmasked today, but they have not shown up at the studio as yet. So scratch that, sports fans. We've got action in the ring that I'm interested in. Ought to be a good one, David.
Yes, indeed. Boy, Tony has been throwing little bars of soap out in the crowd, and the crowd's been throwing them right back at him.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, over here with Dolly Parker and Dennis Hall. Across the way, here's Hillbilly Elmer.
You got 2 girls up there in the ring.
That's Hillbilly Elmer with his comments about the situation, and his partner, the King, Jerry Lawler. We are just about set to get this one underway. Expiration of time match, 1 fall or 20, depending on the amount of time. I can almost assure you we don't have time for 20 today, but we do have time for 1 or more. And let's see who's going to be starting. It looks like the King will be starting for his team, and Dennis Hall will be starting over here on this side. So Jerry Lawler against Dennis Hall in the corners. It's Hillbilly Elmer and Boy Tony. Referee Jerry Calhoun explaining the rules. Dennis Hall back onto the ropes. And reverses the King onto the ropes.
Dennis being very aggressive today, moving straight in on Lawler.
Then Lawler came after him, and boy, he backed off quick.
Moved straight back.
Yes, he did. Straight ahead, straight back.
Side headlock, he gets him over to the floor, and Lawler ducks, and Dennis Hall nails Boy Tony.
How not to win friends and influence people. Hit your partner with a fist is not a good way to do it.
Like they don't have enough trouble with the King and the Giant Hillbilly. He's got to hit his own partner. And Miss Dolly pats him on the foot and says, that's okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Dennis Hall. He's working on the left arm. The King popped him with the right fist. Yeah, Dennis Hall was pulling the tights. Lawler said, hey, that's what he's doing. The referee checked, and Lawler used the opportunity to let him have it with a right fist.
Now we got a lot of discussion going on about using fists in there. Top wrist lock. Tag on Boy Tony. Tony comes in from behind, slips Lawler into a standing side headlock. King and Hillbilly Elmer been together on numerous occasions in the past. They make quite a successful tag team.
Oh, look out. Hillbilly Elmer was set to knock Boy Tony off his feet. Tony stopped. He was thinking how smart he was when he ran into the right hand of the King. Now here's Hillbilly Elmer. Dennis Hall comes rolling in there and goes rolling up. A big leg by Hillbilly Elmer. Boy Tony rolling on the mat there. 3 minutes gone in this one. First fall action, expiration of time match. Boy Tony halfway knocked over to the corner and halfway rolls over there on his own. He makes the tag on Dennis Hall. Dennis Hall says, I'll take him. Oh. Elmer fires Dennis Hall across the ropes. Makes the tag on Jerry Lawler. Lawler has Dennis Hall on the mat. He pops him with that right hand time and time again. Dennis wants his hand raised. He said, hey, he hit me with a fist. Disqualify him. Give me the match right here, and let's call it off. Referee says, nope. Back into action.
Expiration main event. Winding its way down time-wise. Not certainly in the action as Boy Tony reaches over the top rope and really blasts Lawler with a solid right hand.
Dennis Hall takes him over to the corner, and Lawler is hit by Boy Tony from outside. Dennis choking Lawler. Now the referee backs him off there for choking. From outside, Boy Tony grabbed him. He got Lawler over in their corner. That is not a good place for anybody to be. Dennis Hall sliding the shoe off the side of Lawler's head. Dennis hanging onto a face lock. Lawler breaks out of that. There, look out. The strap comes down, and Lawler goes after Boy Tony, then back to Dennis Hall. Look out behind Jerry. Boy Tony in there. Here comes Elmer. He puts Boy Tony back over in the corner.
Oh, look at here, Dave.
Oh, Dolly Parker swings with her purse. Hits Dennis Hall. There's a cover. Count as 1, 2, and 3.
It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, and Lawler and Hillbilly Elmer end up with the victory. Now watch. Oh! Whoa! Lawler steps in right after Miss Dolly had slammed the referee, and now Dennis Hall grabs Lawler from behind, and Dolly is slapping him good. He bangs Dennis. Whoa! She's trying to get away. She got out of the ring, but Lawler had all he was going to have. He was going to bust her a good one. The hands of the King and Hillbilly Elmer are raised in victory in that one. Dennis over on the floor being helped out by Miss Dolly. Boy Tony was conveniently absent out of that last little skirmish in there. So, the winners, Jerry the King Lawler and Hillbilly Elmer. And how much time?
The time on it was 5:23.
5:23. We'll take time out, and we will be back in just a moment. Down close to bye-bye time. We promised a lot coming into today's program, and I think we had an awful lot on today's program.
We had it. Well, we started with the international tag title match in here. The former champion Sato and Goto in, and they took the belts away with the help of Tojo Yamamoto and the Sheepherders, who also got involved in that. So the Japanese team again with the international tag titles. New team coming in here, the Rock and Roll RPMs, defeat their opponents today rather easily. And then Sato and Goto come out here challenging them, and they said, well, okay, let's just step right in the ring And by golly, the rock and roll RPMs run them out of the ring.
I'm here to tell you they flat did, but those guys have had apparently some problems in the past.
Yeah, they mentioned
over in
Tokyo.
Japan.
Yeah, so that's very interesting there. Rock and roll RPMs.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Big Bubba and Goliath won the handicap tag match, and then, of course, in the main event just completed, Jerry the King Lawler, Hillbilly Elmer getting the win there.
Just doggone good action today, but by golly, it doesn't end today. It'll continue next week.